So with Mr. T, we brought him out for a little potty and he did a great job. Ready, Teddy? He's like, I swear, there's so many different things going on. So today we have, there's been some nice noises outside like usual, but then also there has been some more of the participants in the different parts of the other building have been around. So there's a little bit more extra little noises and novelty for today. So sometimes there'll be moments where you might have to, as I've mentioned for some of the other puppies, is lower the criteria so you can be set up for success. So let's say Mr. T, we're going to practice a little bit with some of this lovely loose leash walking. Mom sometimes will either be having him on a longer lead that allows him to meander and not be quite as pulley because he can go and romp and go to the restroom and get to the spots he needed to go without having tension on the gear. If you're going to be practicing with the shorter lead, remember I still would recommend to make sure your rate of reinforcement is high enough for Mr. T to find it valuable to be there. So in the beginning, if he's kind of a little bit of a space cadet, yes, and he starts off a little bit further away or a little bit behind, no big deal. We want him to think that anytime he's nearby, that good things happen. So ready, Teddy? Yes, good job. Nice work. So with Mr. T, he is a little bit more distractible today, and I feel like sometimes that happens where they're a little bit more distracted by odors, or sometimes they're having a moment where, just like with us, you may have a day where you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, or you're just not feeling it. Remember that sometimes there will be times where your pup is also not feeling quite as motivated or quite as comfortable. So with Mr. T, he's a little bit more distracted today, not quite as peppy, and that's okay. So again, ready? He's a little bit more interested in what my stinky shoes are like. So if he's a little distracted, I might go right to his little sniffer, see if I can take a couple little steps together. Yes, and then mark those little moments. So remember, training, it's not about perfection. It's about progress in the direction you were hoping to gain with your pup. So you'll see that he's very intrigued by my stinky pants today. I must have some really good odor on me. So when sometimes you're practicing, again, you might have to lower the criteria or make the environment softer or do things that your pup was really, really comfortable doing and try that for a little bit to boost confidence. So he says, lady, your pants just smell delicious. Ready, Teddy? Let's go. So we might work him a little bit with some of this loose leash walking. I think he's also just really tired already from practicing earlier today too. So remember, even though we are filming little chunks throughout the day, we're also working throughout the time frame when they're here. So they are also getting little rest periods where they are taking little naps in the little front zone where there's a few different sections for them to go take naps in. So for Mr. T, we'll see if we can warm up a little bit. Maybe we'll do a little bit with our leash pressure. So again, little pull and we feed. Nice job, Mr. T. He says, I'm already full, lady. He did have his lunch earlier too, so he could be feeling a little bit less food motivated. I'll let him go explore and then we'll see if I can do a couple little check-ins from there. So, but if you have moments where again, your babe isn't feeling it, I don't work my puppies every single day on skills. So sometimes we might just be existing. I'm going to actually grab this little blanket because he showed interest in it. And maybe we'll do a little bit with our place behavior if he's feeling a little bit tired to go do some movement behavior for now. So again, stationary skills can be easier for some of your babes if they're saying maybe they're too tired to work some of the movement. So we might get Mr. T's attention if he's interested and see if we could work a little bit of this place behavior, maybe working a bit with our settle. Ready, Teddy? So we get his little attention. He's like, lady, this blanket smells amazing. Like so many new friends have been on it. So if there are times where your babe is not feeling it, I know it can be disheartening for us to be like, gosh darn it, we were doing so well. And now when I want to show off or give you a couple things to work on, the pup's like, can't possibly focus. You know, I'm kind of in my own little bubble. So sometimes you might even just feed for the beginning stages of other skills you're hoping to hone in on. So I know Mr. T has been working on going to his little target bed, which is I think typically a chair that he goes and hones in on. So sometimes you may find that as you're starting off with your babes, maybe you are again shaping for that big boy, big girl skill, but you may not get it every time you go to practice. So ready, Teddy? So I might get his little attention, get a little sit from him. Then we might say, what a good job, and sort of feed him for holding that little sit sort of settle behavior. So again, very nice. So sometimes you might even just be feeding the beginning stages of behavior you'd like for down the road. Nice. Good job, Mr. T. He says, boy, this building has a lot of noises today. Good job, Mr. Teddy. He's like, guys, I hear the neighbors and it's very distracting. So again, we might go into a little sit if we can. Yes, what a good boy. And then we might work a little bit with that stay. And I'm just going to keep it short and sweet for greater success. So remember, with the stay, you're feeding for while he's stationary. So if he finds maybe movement behaviors to be hard, going into working a bit stationary can be very helpful. Yes, nice job. What a smart boy. So again, if you're generalizing your stay behavior to different venues or different elements, make sure that you, again, are working one little tidbit at a time. So right now I'm just working more with the time frame than I am my distance or my distraction level. The heat did just poke on, so Teddy's like, what the heck? So a little distracted there. So I'm gonna feed him his last little snack. Then once he's done chewing, I'm gonna go again, all done, a little bit of touch, and then get the handsome guy to get up. Nice, good boy, Teddy. Then we might try it again. Ready, bed? We'll get his attention, get a little sit, and I'm gonna tell him again to stay. And sometimes, again, just dragging the gear is just fine. It's just there to keep him from wandering away. We're gonna feed him several little snacks. If your babe breaks, which sometimes can happen, Teddy, you can try to regain their attention, regain the setup, and start once more. So sit, beautiful, and then we go right there, yes, and we'll tell him to stay. So again, if rapid fire is maybe sometimes what you need to do in the beginning to build up value, remember that your duration between the snacks should be fast enough where you don't lose your babe's interest. Mr. T is, I think, heading over to the water dish again to reparch himself, get a little hydrated. So, but when working with some of these place behaviors, I would make sure that he has the energy to do so. Sometimes if he's just really tired, maybe give him a chew, give him an object to work on, and then call it a day for him for a little bit and let him just decompress with the environment. But Mr. T did a very nice job. So we'll go ahead and we'll give him a little break from this behavior and we'll try another little skill if he's interested. But he did a really great job throughout the day.